Hey, this is Michael, and welcome back to me and Paul's channel. We're so excited to have you here. Before we dive into this video, I want to make sure you subscribe to our channel because we've got 2 new videos coming out every week, and turn on the bell so you get notified so you don't miss out on any of these new videos. We talk about buying real estate, selling real estate, and all the exit strategies we use, such as virtual wholesaling, buying and managing local and out-of-state rental properties, renovation projects we're working on, private lending, and owner financing. We primarily buy through online auctions off the MLS and through wholesalers, and we bought in 44 states. With that said, I'm going to dive into today's video, which I hear new investors ask all the time, whether it's on Facebook groups or other real estate investment forums, such as, well, the question they always ask is, how to start wholesaling houses. So I kind of will break it down into 2 main groups on how you acquire essentially wholesale properties. So the first we're going to kind of cover group is marketing to homeowners, and the second group is no marketing to homeowners. So those are two main ways to buy houses for wholesaling, or just to buy for renovation projects or rentals. So before we start, though, especially if you're going to do number one, marketing to homeowners, if you want to wholesale properties, you have to understand sales and direct response marketing and really educate yourself on that, because you're essentially a sales and marketing company to generate all these leads and home sellers calling you. And then how do you talk to them to get the low offer that you have to get to wholesale property? So again, the first group here is marketing to homeowners. And that's where you're really, when you're a real estate investor, because you have to know the numbers, but you're essentially a marketing and sales organization. And you're going to need a big marketing budget, and it's going to be time intensive, and you're going to eventually need a team. If you really want to scale up, you're going to need 1 or 2, 3+ acquisition managers, depending on how many markets or how big your market is. We're talking direct mail, learning SEO, pay-per-click, Facebook ads, etc. So you're going to have to really be a student of marketing, understand how to communicate to home sellers, and what lists to purchase, how different online and offline marketing works. The second way to acquire properties to wholesale is no marketing to homeowners. Now, I've done both methods. Years ago, I used to market to homeowners and did tens of thousands of postcards a month, SEO. So if you search, we buy houses, your city area, we'd be number 1 on the page organically. And if we weren't, we'd do pay-per-click. But now, in the last 5 years, working with Paul, we've transitioned to no marketing for homeowners whatsoever. Basically, deals are sent to us through other wholesalers, and we'll actually close on them, and we could wholesale them or wholesale them out if the numbers still make sense, or we'll buy it as a renovation and rental property. And then for deals we want to wholesale, we basically make offers right off the MLS, and we buy them at auction. So we're not assigning contracts for the most part on these, where we'll actually buy them, take them down, meaning we'll own them, whether it's for a day or a few months, and then resell them, whether it's for cash offers or like owner financing offers. That gives us a lot more control, flexibility, and multiple different exit strategies to maximize our profits. So again, the 2 camps on this one is, marketing to homeowners directly and no marketing to homeowners. Either or works. You've got to figure out what's best for you and your budget and your time commitment, etc. So if we go into the deeper details into marketing for homeowners, what are some things you could do immediately to get started? And it's going to vary by your budget and your time commitment. If you're working another job and doing this part-time and have the money, or you don't have any money and have all the time in the world, you got to figure out what's best for you. One way to do it is through cold calling. You could, buy lists and text blast people or cold call them. You could find, free ads online, call for sale by owners in Craigslist, Zillow, anywhere else where houses are posted online. Pretty easily, you could call for rent ads, see if the landlord's willing to sell the rental property they currently have vacant and looking to rent out. So there's numerous ways to find for sale by owners and people looking for rent to call these folks and make offers. Another one is Bandit Signs. You could just, or even billboards if you could afford it, in high traffic areas. Put a Bandit sign or buy a billboard in a high traffic area, and get the phone ringing for people to sell your property. You've seen home investors take advantage of this in the inner cities a lot. Another way to do it is call it online and offline ads. This is wide array of things. And it's as simple as buying a vehicle sign magnet for your car doors or truck, and posting on there, and hopefully people call as you drive around. Internet marketing will be huge, and there's multiple different things. You could post a bunch of free ads on Craigslist and other real estate forums. You could buy paper clips, so for certain keywords, sell house fast, whatever city, area, or state you're in. There's also learning to do SEO, where you create videos and make your website really specific for certain keyword phrases. So when someone types in, sell house fast, whatever city, you might not have to pay for that clip. You might show up on the first page real estate of Google, which will drive a lot of traffic to your site organically, which is free. So that's something that takes time to learn, but it can be done. I've done it years ago and continue to do it in my business today. So, some other ads are, you could, post your properties for sale. You could, scour, Craigslist, Bigger Pockets, and other places. There are Facebook groups that have deals out there. And you could, again, target to certain specific groups in Facebook ads as well to drive homeowners to call you. Another way to do it is if you have really all the time in the world and not a lot of money. I've done this early on starting out, is you could drive or walk for dollars in certain neighborhoods in the city that you want to purchase in. A great way to find vacant houses and, write the information down and then look it up later on who those people are, and you can mail to them. Another one is direct mail. You could just buy a list. There's probate lists, there's code violations, vacant house lists, etc. And you could stack them too to get really granular. So there's ways to send postcards or letters out to these folks once you have a good list, and scrub it and see if these folks are willing to sell, their property to you. You could teach courses on the direct mail there. And then finally, as I mentioned earlier, SEO stands for search engine optimization. That's basically targeting on certain keywords that people would type in to sell a house, and you're showing up there on, the prime real estate of Google in your area for page one, and that'll drive a lot of traffic as well. There's numerous other ways to do it. I'm just in this video just giving you some quick action things, whether you have money or don't have money to get started in real estate today. If this is the approach you want to go to find home sellers to sell to you. Now, the second group where you actually do no marketing, which is what me and Paul currently do for the most part, is, where do we get our leads from? One is the MLS. We'll make offers daily, weekly on properties on the MLS, whether it's a new fixer-upper in certain market, and maybe we'll target also properties that have been on market 90 plus days. It might be more motivated. Again, you have, depending on your MLS system, you could really get granular and only get a handful of properties a day to fit your criteria based on certain counties, cities, areas, condition of the property. If you only want 3 bedrooms or 4 bedrooms, you can filter on that. So there's a lot of different ways to filter it to meet houses for your criteria that you want to purchase to wholesale or to renovate or as a rental. So we have basically our VA get an email daily of all these properties. She puts them in a Google sheet, and then she'll determine the ARVs on them, and me and Paul review them and make offers on them. And she'll actually send in the agreement of sales, and it'll do all electronic signatures for us. So that's fully automated for our VA. Other ways, wholesalers, certain markets will just join wholesalers list, and most of the time you probably won't wholesale those properties, but we might wholesale. So we'll buy them and then maybe just spend a few grand, clean them up if needed, or make it mortgageable for the end buyer. So that's a great way to wholesale properties, is to get on wholesalers list, purchase it, maybe put a few grand into it, and then resell it. Our favorite is online auctions. So we've, through online auctions, we've purchased through 44 states. And again, we have systems in place with our virtual assistants where they're combing through different auction sites for all the leads. And I have other videos explaining all the auction sites that you could check out. And, here is they determine, once we kind of have different filter approaches, and, they determine ARVs for properties that make sense to us. And then me and Paul narrow down that list even more, and then we make bids on properties. We're constantly evaluating, different markets we want to be into every quarter. And then finally, right now, a lot of places are shut down or not having these, whether it's due to COVID or the moratorium on foreclosures. But basically, when that's back up and running, you could easily target local county auctions. And there's different tax sales, there's sheriff sales, etc. So there's do more research on these, but because you might have liens that you weren't expected if you didn't do title search ahead of time. But again, these are great ways where we have zero marketing costs and zero acquisition team that we have to hire to bring in a ton of leads for us. Again, there's no right or wrong in either approach. You got to figure out what's best for you, whether you want to become an online marketing and sales team basically to target home sellers, or you want to just do no marketing and find properties this way. If you want to learn more about this way of purchasing properties, feel free to go down into the description below. We have a REO auction course that you could sign up for. It's a free webinar that you can kind of learn more about me and Paul's business and how we buy and sell houses across the country. And again, if this video is helpful, please subscribe and feel free to share with anyone you like. Thanks, and have a great day, everyone.